Somehow they did it. They raised the bar. Outer Banks Season 2 was even better than Season 1. There was action, there was love, and there was humor. There were deaths, fake deaths, and huge twists. Today we are going to recap the 4 main plots and the ending. The first of the 4 main plots was the gold. Outer Banks Season 1 ended with Cameron Ward flying the gold to the Bahamas, and John B. and Sarah were rescued by a boat heading there. So they partnered with Captain Terrence, Cleo, and Stubbs and tried to get the gold. And they did for a minute. Unfortunately, Rafe accidentally shot Sarah, and in the end, the Bahamian police got the gold before they were able to sail off with it. The second of the 4 major plots was the criminal investigation. After returning to the Outer Banks, John B. was arrested for the murder of Sheriff Peterkin, but Kiara, Pope, and JJ found the gun that Cameron had dropped into the drainage pipe and gave it to Shoop. Shoop Dupe gave it to the SBI, and the ballistics matched the gun from the tarmac. On top of that, Rafe's fingerprints were found on the bullet casings, so John B. was let go and Rafe was arrested. But Rafe wasn't the only criminal. John B. had traded a fake key to Carla in exchange for a tape in which Gavin exposed what Rafe and Cameron had done at the airport in Season 1. So the police tried to arrest Cameron, but he seemingly blew himself up after giving a speech about the captain going down with the ship. It was all a trick. Cameron had snuck off the boat in scuba gear, but it was a smart trick, because he had also recorded a confession tape and said that he had killed Sheriff Peterkin even though it was really his son Rafe. But because of that tape, the police let crazy Rafe go free. That leads us into the third major plot of Season 2, the Cross of Santo Domingo. Legend had it that inside the cross was the garment of the Savior. That garment was said to be able to heal the sick of any malady. Carla Limbri was dying, so that's why she wanted the cross. Rafe wanted it because he found out that the banks had called in their loans on his family's business, so they needed $1.7 million ASAP. And the Pogues wanted the cross because, well, that's what they do. They're treasure hunters. But this time, it was more than just that. It was personal, because it turns out Pope is a descendant of Denmark Tanny. So the Pogues went on another treasure hunt. First, they found the Angel Oak, where Pope's ancestor Denmark Tanny had buried his wife Cecilia. Since the painting in the island room had a keyhole on the tree, JJ was smart enough to look inside the tree hollow and he found a scope with the inscription, "You've come this far, do not falter. The cross is on the freedman's altar." That led the kids to an old church on Goat Island where they found the cross, but unfortunately, they had to leave it there because Pope had an allergic reaction to hornets. And while they were away, Rafe and Renfield stole the cross. Carla opened it, but there was not a magical garment inside, so she freaked out. Renfield pushed her, and then Renfield cut her out of the deal and went to leave with Rafe, but Carla shot him. Rafe then drove off without her, gave Renfield's body to the Gators, and fought off an angry Pope, their third fight in total. That leads us into the fourth and final plot of the season, the Coastal Venture. Rose drugged Sarah and brought her and the cross to the steamer, Coastal Venture. The Pogue snuck on in the cargo, and lo and behold, Cameron Ward was there, alive. Cameron's plan was to escape down to Guadeloupe with the gold, with the cross, and with his entire family, especially his favorite child, Sarah. Unfortunately for him, Sarah hates him, because just like his son Rafe, Cameron is crazy. Case in point, just as Rafe nearly drowned Sarah earlier in the season, Cameron almost choked his daughter to death. Luckily, Topper saved Sarah from Rafe, and John B. saved Sarah from Cameron. Their fight ended when Cameron fell back and hit his head, very similar to the way in which Cameron and Big John's fight ended before Season 1. Unlike what Cameron did to Big John, John B. did not throw Cameron overboard. And it's worth noting that for the second time this season, Sarah shed a tear for her father's death, but this time, just a figurative death. After everything he'd done, her father, Cameron Ward, was dead to her. And now, the ending. Pope tried to drop the cross, thinking if they can't have it, no one can. But for better and worse, Rafe and the crew were able to pull it back up. The Pogues escaped on a raft, and it's worth noting that Rafe resisted the urge to shoot at them. Most likely, this was because earlier in the season, Rafe had accidentally shot his sister, and he didn't want to do that again. So the Pogues landed on an island, and JJ named it Pogelandia. They were bummed out at first, but they came to see the silver lining. They had the waves, and they had each other. Their original group of 4 was now 6 strong, Pogue for life. Meanwhile, Cameron Ward is on his way to their own island at Guadeloupe. He has the gold and he has the cross, but he lost his most valuable treasure of all, his daughter Sarah. When Season 1 ended, people thought John B. and Sarah were dead. This time, people think, or at least fear, the same for them as well as JJ, Kiara, and Pope. So that was a nice callback, parallel structure. And speaking of callbacks, there's that final scene. John B.'s father, Big John Rutledge, is alive in Barbados. Outer Banks Season 2 ended with Big John making a deal with Carla. He will help her find the magical shroud that was not in the cross if she helps his son. What a crazy ending. Let me know in the comment section, who else has gone full Pogue?